everybody, welcome back. It's Joe White from Get Life Coaching, and welcome to another edition of Live Free. My pleasure and honor to be with you once again. Well, the last few episodes we've talked about how to overcome this thing called learned helplessness. How this feeling of a problem or a challenge being permanent, pervasive, personal, not going away. And we gave you keys last week, how to create a compelling future. That you need to find a role model, someone else has done the very thing that your paradigm says, which is impossible. Or do something that's so far outside their comfort level, so far outside the realm of the paradigm that it shatters it. And it goes it's far further reaching than the problem or whatever the learned helplessness has created in their lives. Well, I want to spend just a little bit of time on the first step. And that is creating a compelling future. Because I think 2 and 3 are more self-explanatory, but what do we mean by creating a compelling future? I think very often in life we get stuck. And we get stuck between this place called pain and pleasure. And we reside in this no man's land. Because if you think about what motivates us as human beings, it's that need to avoid pain and desire to gain pleasure. We've talked about that. But pain is a great motivator, but pain has no memory. Now think about this, because you ever been in a situation where you felt an overwhelming pain that you had to take some action, so you started making some changes. Maybe you wanted to do a diet, or you want to start exercising, or quit smoking, or change your eating habit, and you really felt gung-ho, and like, oh my God, you went through something especially. And maybe you got sick, or someone else you know died of lung disease or heart disease, and like, they know that's it, I'm quitting. I know I did that. I did that when I lived up in New York City, and I overdosed on cocaine, and my body just stopped. I was dead for 14 minutes lying on the streets of New York City before the EMTs came, and I swore I was never going to do drugs again until the next night, because I forgot about the pain that quick. And I wanted to prove that the drugs could not control me, could not dominate me, and I went out and used. So very often we get motivated. We end a relationship. That's enough examples, right? We ended a relationship. It was awful. But then as time progresses, it's like a dream. And slowly this memory of how awful things were begins to fade. And we begin to delete and generalize and make stuff up. We've all been there. And next thing you know, we're caught. Now, we're not in pain, but we're not where we want to be. See, very often we get confused. We get confused that we think pleasure is the absence of pain. Pleasure is not the absence of pain. Pleasure is pleasure. So when we're stuck there, we'll do one of two things. Really, one of three things. But for right now, one of two. The first thing is we'll go back to the pain. We'll go back to the smoking, back to the relationship, back to the food, back to not working out. Or we'll sit still. See, when I ask people, well, what is your level of fulfillment in life? When I get a 5 or a 6 or a 4, that's a great indication of this is exactly what's happening. Because now all of a sudden, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's not where I want to be. So pain will motivate us, but it's not enough to get us where we want to go. So the example I use is from the movie Apollo 13. And in the movie, right, or in history, right, Tom Cruise and the crew of the Apollo 13, they blasted off from Earth, and somewhere their rocket got disabled halfway between the Earth and the Moon. And they had enough fuel to get into the Moon's gravitational pull, slingshot around the Moon, use its thrusters to get as close to Earth as possible so that it hoped to get caught up in the Earth's gravitational pull, and then they can land. And the plan worked. And that's how we work. Very, very similar. Because what happens is we want to use the moon as the pain to motivate, to drive us. But we didn't have enough thrusters. If we don't have enough pain, we get caught in the middle. And they would have never gotten back to Earth. They would have died there. So the Earth represents the compelling future. We need something to drive us to. We need something to get us out of bed, to become bigger or greater than who and what we are. We need something to focus on. Ask any entrepreneur during the toughest parts of growing my business or any business is that the ideal of your mission, your purpose, what you're building, what you're creating, your friends, your family, your workers, their family, something greater than you to get you through the roughest time. It's your passion, something. There's got to be something. And it can't just be the avoidance of pain. Because the end, new pain versus old pain, will go back to the old pain. Even if it's worse, because it's familiar. So I want you to think of an area that you're stuck at, or maybe you're procrastinating at, or an area of your life you maybe don't feel that level of fulfillment. And when you begin to ask yourself, what, if any, is your compelling future? And if you don't have one, or if you're not taking action, it means you don't see it clear enough, or you don't feel it. It's not embodied in you. One of the things we do at our seminars, we take people through a process where they actually embody it. They feel it. They live it. It's like it's already part of who they are. It's part of their nervous system. And once it's engaged, like, wow, now you just go out there and respond to it. But if you don't get a chance to come to one of our seminars or our workshops, what I would like you to do is at least do some writing on this. Spend some time, describe it in rich language. Very often is, my compelling future is I want things to be better than where I want to be, or worse. It describes what you don't want. I don't want to be back where I was. That's my compelling future. No, that's not strong enough. Describe it. Describe it in rich detail, rich content. Now I know what you're going to say. Well, what if it doesn't work out? Now if it doesn't work out, you'll figure out what does work out for you. But anything better than where you're at. And if that doesn't work out for you, I guarantee the next thing will begin to appear for you. When that doesn't work out, the next thing appears for you. And until you land in that place where you belong. But you need something. Remember that. You need something. And for the people who say, I don't know what I want, then describe the feelings. Describe the quality of feeling. Happiness, joy, abundancy, freedom. Describe how that freedom feels for you. You'll figure out the vehicles. So when you're stuck, create that compelling future. And yes, stay away from the pain. But remember, it's the pleasure that brings you home. It's not the avoidance of pain. So I thank you for joining me once again. Spread the word. Link us up. Love to see more and more people join us here. So until next time, live free. I'm Joe White from Get Life Coaching. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.